जहां यहाँ वहाँ हाँ जी हाँ हम तो खोजते रहे अपने मकान यहाँ वहाँ हाँ जी हाँ कुकुड़ुकुड़ुकु कुकू कुकुड़ुकुड़ुकु कुकू कुकुड़ुकुड़ु कुकुड़ुकु कुकुड़ुकुड़ुकु कुकू कुकुड़ुकुड़ुकु कुकू कुकुड़ुकुड़ु कुकुड़ुकु हम तो बंठन चले सुनने नए किस्से कहानियां बचपन की यादें पुरानी हमको बतलाती थी रानी एक था राजा एक थी रानी होती थी खत्म कहानी एक से एक कहानी सुन लो कलमों को जबानी सुन लो खुशियों का पिटारा खोलो और सारे मिलके बोलो कुकुड़ुकुड़ुकु कुकू कुकुड़ुकुड़ुकु कुकू कुकुड़ुकुड़ु कुकुड़ुकु कुकुड़ुकुड़ुकु कुकू कुकुड़ुकुड़ुकु कुकू कुकुड़ुकुड़ु
Hi kids, how are you? How are all of you? Welcome and good evening to week 4 of Kukuduku Art Festival, the biggest and the longest running global art festival for children. And do you know who this is brought to you by? This festival is brought to you by Camel, India's favorite stationery brand. And today's amazing and exciting session, do you know what it is? Do you have any clue what today's session is? Do you know? No? No, do you have a clue? Okay, so today's exciting session, I'll tell you in a while. But today's session is brought to you by kids' favorite entertainment channel, Pogo. Yes, you're right, it's your Pogo. I, Gayatri, am your host for today's evening, and it is my greatest pleasure to welcome all of you wonderful, wonderful children to the beginning of a fabulous adventure. So, before we begin, as usual, let me tell you the 3 golden rules that you will have to follow throughout the session. All right? Do any of you remember the rules? Do you remember? Can you type in the chat box if you remember? Yes? No? Yes? Okay. Okay. Some of you don't know, so let me repeat it to you again. Right? First rule, golden rule number 1. The session will be for 40 minutes, followed by a 20-minute Q&A session. Right? So keep yourself muted throughout the session and take note of your questions or type it in the chat box, and I will ask all of your questions in the end in the Q&A round. Okay? Golden rule number 2. If you are confused, if you cannot see anything, or if there is something wrong with your audio or your video, or if something is wrong, you can ask your parents or anybody who is next to you to help you out and resolve the problem quickly so that you don't miss out on any of the fun. All right? Golden rule number 3. Don't worry if you are missing any material. It's completely fine. You know why? Because because you get recordings within 24 hours. And do you know how to access those recordings? You have to go to www.kokuduku.com, log in and go to your dashboard, and you can get all the sessions, especially today's session, within 24 hours. All right. And then later on, you can get your materials and do the activity all by yourself. All right. So before we proceed, let me remind you that this festival is brought to you by Camel, India's favorite stationery brand. And this session is powered by kids' favorite entertainment channel, Pogo. And that's not all. I have a special news for all of you. Do you want to know what it is? It's a very exciting and secret news. Do you know what it is? And it's not from me. It's from your favorite cartoon characters. All your favorite cartoon characters have got a special news for you. Do you want to check it out? Do you want to know what it is? Can we see a video? Yes, we'll see a video right now.
अब होगी सीजन की सबसे बड़ी अनबॉक्सिंग।
Hala! पोगो गिफ्ट वाली दिवाली यानी गिफ्ट्स की बारिश। वाओ!
गिफ्ट से मचेगा बवाल। जल्दी खोलो। In 3, 2, 1।
अब पोगो पे गिफ्ट्स के साथ होगा ढेर सारा फन अनबॉक्स।
पोगो गिफ्ट वाली दिवाली कॉन्टेस्ट देखो न्यू एपिसोड्स ऑफ सिम्बा एंड टीटू 27 अक्टूबर से दोपहर 12 से 2 बजे इस नंबर पर मिस्ड कॉल करो। पाओ मौका टू विन एक्साइटिंग गिफ्ट्स। को पावर्ड बाय गुड नाइट जंबो फास्ट कार्ड एंड चोकोलीबे।
You see that, all of you? Did you see what happened? Did you see what the exciting news is? Yes, and before I tell you what it is, don't forget to watch your brand new episodes of your favorite TV shows on Pogo. Like, what are your favorite TV shows? Smashing Simba? Yes. Tittu, Har Jawab Ka Sawal Main. And participate in Pogo's Gift Wali Diwali contest because you can win amazing and exciting prizes. You saw, right? You can win your phones, scooters, laptops, watches, so many exciting prizes. And for that, you will have to participate in Pogo Gift Wali Diwali. And don't forget another thing, don't forget that you will have to upload your favorite art pieces that are made by you on Instagram or Facebook so that you can win gifts and goodies from us. Right? Are you ready for this fun-filled journey and exciting session today? Today's is a very, very interesting session. You would not have heard of it before. We have a special guest in here. Do you know who that is? Do you know what we're doing today? Can you type in the chat box quickly? Yes, what are we doing today? Oh yes, Turkish art, yes. So get ready to enjoy a wonderful session on Turkish art and shadow puppet making by Ms. Görkem Dikel. She is a representative of Turkish abstraction painting in young generation. She had over 40 group shows and her works are international collection in USA, Germany, UK, Italy, China, Taiwan, Australia, and Turkey. A warm welcome to our instructor, Ms. Görkem. Ma'am, the stage is all yours. Have a wonderful session. Yeah. Ma'am, you're on mute. Mute. All right. No.
And now?
Yes. Ma'am, you can mute the other one. Yeah.
You hear me now? And
Yes.
now?
It's echoing a little bit.
It's echoing, yes. So I should stop.
Ma'am, you are not audible right now. We cannot hear you, ma'am. I think there's an audio issue. Maybe you can switch off and disconnect the audio from your other device and just turn on the audio from this one.
First.
You can disconnect your audio over there.
Now?
Yes, wonderful. Yes. All right.
Okay.
Welcome
Now
and
everyone is hearing me very well, right? Okay. Keep in mind that I'm not hearing you very well, but don't worry. Okay, people, sorry for the little problem of the sound. Welcome to my studio. I'm a Turkish artist. Right now, you are viewing my studio in Istanbul. My name is Görkem Dikel. I studied arts, painting, both in Turkey and in Spain. And right now, I am studying my doctorate in arts in Istanbul. I investigate many things, and I wonder many things about art. And I'm so curious about all traditional art and modern art and contemporary art. Talking about Turkish art, as all of art forms, Turkish art also has many forms. Traditional drawing style, which they call miniature, which also in your country's history, there are also many beautiful miniatures. And also we have traditional ornamentation, architecture, very good architecture, theater, and the shadow puppetry that we will make today. Well, all of those artistic events first started in Asia. Like Uyghur people, Uyghur Turks was the first Turkish people who created art. It was long before they chosen Islam. Before Islam, they were believing into Buddhism. So they created many beautiful paintings in the caves, in the temples, and so on. So please join me in my little presentation, visual presentation, and I can't wait to teach you how to make shadow puppetry. Now everyone can view my screen. Turkish art in time, right? You know that, like I told, Turkish art started in the 1st century, blah, blah, and they were drawing a very different, very primitive style back then. Look, here you see some cave paintings, like Buddhist temples, Buddhist religious figures, and some goddesses and gods. Like Uyghur painting also can be found in other primitive Bezekli caves, Kocha caves here. The paintings are very primitive. Like there is also this another religion which is called Mani. That there is a prophet Mani. His name was Mani. He was a painter prophet, and so what he did was to paint a sacred book. You haven't heard it wrong. He painted the sacred book. So he illustrated all of these religious contents like a real painter. Here you can see his drawing of universe. It's kind of exciting because in his mind there are all little tiny details about how universe is functioning, right? And this is also from this book. We are so lucky to have them still today. So it's also from the book. We should remind that Mongolian invasions, I think all of you maybe heard about Genghis Khan, right? With Mongolian invasions, with Genghis Khan, the Uyghur painting came here. Where? To Anatolia and to North Africa and to Arabic Peninsula, and then they created a very ancient Persia painting style, which also affected Ottoman Empire painting. This will be later. Look, Uyghur people came to Abbasi, North Africa region, and then they worked here as a painter. We will see. They painted these little beautiful drawings, very beautiful. Detail the sultan, the horses, everything. They haven't built the palaces, but they painted inside. Look, all those painters, all those paintings are today still can be seen. And Turkish painting, Uyghur painting came to Anatolia. This is Kubadabad Palace in the 12th century. And inside, there are these beautiful, like sirens, parrot man, horseman, maybe, huh? some mythologic heroes. And then there is this important miniature book. There was one very important miniature book which is called Cami-ül Tevarih, but you don't have to remember this name. This is a little bit confused. Only see here Genghis Khan is rolling around, and Uyghurs painted this book. Well, inside this book, there are another interesting paintings like this: Muhammad receiving a revelation from angel Gabriel. Well, this painting, as a person that lives in Istanbul, in Constantinople, reminds me this fresco, which I have seen in a Byzantine church near my house. Look, if you look close, all the details in the draperies, the clothes I have something in common. See? Okay. So we should keep in mind that in art history, different kind of things can have very beautiful things in common. Okay, so this is the night ride of the prophet. There is a story interesting here. This is Yona swallowed by a whale. But and then the whale, when the whale swallowed Yona prayed so much, and he prayed so hard to be saved by the God. I saw something stuck in the throat of the whale, and then the whale coughed, like, and then Yona could get out of the stomach of the whale. Here, the angel is giving him something to cover himself. And now we have come to Ottoman Empire. Now we are going very, very fast. Don't worry. Soon we will be cutting. By the way, please have your materials with you, right? Here, the Ottoman Sultan is smelling a rose. This rose symbolizes their religion too. You know, the art story in ancient times, it always has to do with religion. And that became a trend. Like other painters started to paint the Sultan with the rose too. This is very interesting. And there is this Italian master of the painters, which is called Gentile Bellini, also painted the Sultan. But you can see the total difference here. They paint the same person, but in a different way. And then in 1453, Istanbul, Constantinople was taken by Ottoman Empire. And so this changed all the Western story. The historian said that when Ottoman conquered Istanbul, Middle Era ended, and it prepared a base for the Renaissance in Italy. Here you can see some Byzantine churches here, and some more Byzantine churches. If you come to Istanbul, you will see them. Santa Sofia is a very beautiful place. And we have an architect which is called Great Sinan, very beautiful mosques. And here we have Atatürk. Just like your Mahatma Gandhi, we have Atatürk, our leader that founded the modern Turkey, the assembly, Turkish assembly, the parliament, the democracy, the revolution in education, then closing of religious schools, and women rights. Women start to be a painter too. They start to study art. In the West, there is this Picasso. Maybe you heard of Picasso. He's a very intelligent man. With the paintings, with the interesting cubist paintings that he makes, he created a revolution in Western art story too. And after this revolution, and after modern Turkey, Turkish painters started to paint different, very modern and with cubist style. Here we see a woman painter, for example. Here another woman painter, and those are male painters, but they are very, very successful, and they are also affected by Western modern arts, like the traditional arts, like ended. But also you can see the traces still. Bedir Rahmi Eyüboğlu, Namık İsmail. And this is Mihri Müşfik, Turkish woman painter. And another Turkish woman painters, the sunrise painting. And those are beautiful paintings. Yes, these are very, very beautiful. And this is my painting. Hello. And then here I painted my shadow. Now, speaking of the shadow, we have a beautiful video with you. Now it's time to play our video.
It was long before the arrival of TV or even radio when shadow theatre was a popular form of entertainment in the Ottoman Empire. One particular pair of puppets being the most loved, Hacivat and Karagöz. Hundreds of people would gather to watch these two fun and contrasting characters reflected on a curtain. Karagöz is the bawdy, unrefined commoner, while Hacivat is the educated, well-mannered, smooth-talking aristocrat. Together, they frequently find themselves entangled in strange and comical situations. The plays were widely performed in coffee shops, gardens, and private houses between the 17th and 19th centuries, at circumcisions, feast festivals, but especially during Ramadan. It still survives today in a toned-down version, and usually for kids. Only around 50 artists continue the tradition. One of them is puppeteer Cengiz Özek.
Ben aslında çok küçük yaşta başladım Karagöz yapmaya.
I started when I was little. I was 13, and I didn't find them. Karagöz and Hacivat found me, and our friendship has been ongoing since then. I've taken them to more than 100 countries.
Özek tries to continue the tradition not only by performing plays, but also organizing exhibitions. He tries to pass on his knowledge at everyday places like this shopping center in Istanbul.
Birçok araştırmacıya göre
According to many researchers, it's the 500th year of Karagöz this year, so we have this exhibition. Their story is illustrated, and a lot of puppets are showcased. All of them are made by me, not only Hacivat and Karagöz, also the other characters. The drunkard, Tuzsuz Deli Bakir, the long-necked Uzun Efe, the opium addict, Kanbur Tiryaki, an eccentric dwarf, Alta Karish Bebiruhi, and Bloody Nigar, a rather flirtatious woman.
The puppets with jointed limbs are about 30-40 centimeters. They're usually made up of cow or camel skin, and skin is painted with either Indian ink or natural paints, later embroidered with sharp blades. Finally, the pieces are put together with ropes.
The puppeteer does everything, manipulating the characters which are fastened to a stick, vocalizing them in different dialects, and sometimes even playing the cymbals.
This is the backstage. Traditionally, there used to be no separate room for this area. The puppeteer would only stand behind a frame that holds a white, translucent cloth. In the past, this used to be a candle, and the artist was accompanied by an apprentice. But in modern times, as you see, the situation is a bit different.
The origin of these characters is unknown, and it's still a mystery whether they've ever even existed.
Hello, you are with me again. Now, I'm showing you our materials, what we are going to use. It is very easy materials. Some colorful pencils, some A4 size papers, or any size could work too, don't worry about this. And we have this needle here with the string, but please, sorry, I need to click something here on the screen. You hear me well, right? Okay, so now we have the needle here, but please use the needle under parental advisory. But your needle does not have to be that big, of course, no problem. And what we have more, we have scissor and the eraser, and that's all. There is also the stick. If you don't have a stick, don't worry. You can just use back side of your one of your pencils. Okay, so now don't worry. We will create something like this. Now everyone take your normal pencil with me. Okay, now everyone took the pencil. Now we start by drawing a hat. Not so big, but not so small. You should only, it's like an cut orange, a slice of orange. Everyone do it with me, please. Okay, now we are working on. We made our slice of orange. And now we will do something like this. Don't worry if you make it a little bit incorrect, doesn't matter. Maybe it's better now, huh? It's too light. No, I think you can see. Okay, now you will see this better. For you to make you see better, I will use a darker pen, but you don't start with this pen, okay? You start with normal pen. Okay. Okay, so I did this and this. Okay. And then this will be the head. And then we are putting the nose. The nose is put. And Karagöz means black eye. He has big black eyes. So I'm putting a big eye near the nose. So please you put an eye with me. Okay. And now we are drawing a mouth. And now we are doing something different. Is everyone done that? Okay, I'm slow. Our little face, puppet face will be prepared. It will be very cute, very beautiful. Okay. Cute face. And if you want, you can also add some beard. Do you know how? Just separating this area from the upper area. This is a beard. Then we will paint inside. But this is not obligatory. Okay, now I'll continue. Now I'm drawing an egg, a form of the egg, all right? The egg touching to the head. An egg that touches the head. And now we are connecting the head with egg. Because when we are cutting this, we will need those things. Yes. Okay, I'm waiting, don't worry. And now I do something like this, just like a fish, but not fish. More or less looks like fish, but it's not a fish, of course. Just do this form, more or less. Try to make it all right, but if it's not this way, don't worry. Just relax and just try to make your best. If you cannot succeed, don't worry. Every form will be welcome. Okay. And now what I do? What I do? Now I do the head part. I do another ball here. I repeat again. I am using marker now. But you don't use marker now. You use the marker later. Now you use normal pencil, all right? Okay. Now I put my ball here. And now I put a flower here. Everybody does a flower. Any kind of flower as you like. Any kind of flower. And here we need to put a leaf. A leaf. And if you want, we can put an eyebrow here. Eyebrow could be any form. Okay. All right. Now I am leaving this here so that you can see it here. But now here I'm drawing the rest. Because later we will connect the pieces. Now you know what I'm doing. I'm drawing the arm. Now everybody should be ready for drawing the arm. Just follow what I do. First see it and then make it. Okay. I'm just using two parallel lines, starting from the same point, two parallel lines. Everyone does two parallel lines like this, like an L. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be like this, like this, like this. Doesn't matter. Just two lines. Okay. Now watch me. Now we are connecting this part. Oh. Now we have the shoulder. Now we have the shoulder. Now everyone is welcome to draw a five finger here. Just like this. First watch, please. I will give you time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, now we have a beautiful arm. And now we can put our details here. Okay, we succeeded. We made it. I wait for everyone. Let's see if I see this here too, if you want. And okay. Now I'm starting to draw our legs because this puppet will walk, right? It will walk. Now I need to draw two narrow eggs. Two narrow eggs. Two narrow eggs. And yes, this is the second egg for the second leg. But please keep separated those eggs because there will be shoes between. So this could be separate. So this you can put the second leg more further. Or if you don't have any space in your paper, don't worry. You just pick up another paper because we'll cut down into. Okay, two narrow egg. Everyone has two narrow egg. Now what we have until now, I am showing all again. We have this. We have the body. And then we have the leg and arms. Now, I'm showing you a shortcut of how to make shoes. Now, please watch me when I am making an easy method of shoes. The shoes will be, for the shoes, please draw a curve from here to here with me. Like this, do the same. Just do like this. And our second curve is more extended like this. Mhm. Now I close the points, like I connected with them. But now it didn't end it. We still have something to do. You know what? We will make a heel. Yes. We made a space for the heels. And I am erasing this. Now we have very good shoes now. Okay, now with the shoes, we made the leg, we made the arm, we made the legs, and we made the body. And what we do now, we start to color them. Okay, we start coloring. So, okay, I start to color my puppets, Karagöz, with red, because in the tradition, they always be red. So I took my red pencil, I colored. When I'm coloring, I'm always moving my hand in the more or less the same directions to get a better kind of painting, better results. This is my Karagöz. You know what my grandmother was calling me? Karagöz. Karagöz means black eye. So I also, in my childhood, I also liked Karagöz puppet too much. So my grandma was calling me Karagöz. And after I started to make Karagöz, now I'm continuing. I'm painting a dress. It's very funny that painting thing relaxes me too much. It relaxes me a lot. Well, I think that's why I've chosen to be a painter. Okay, now I will do a red hat. But of course, you are welcome to use any color you like. Everyone painting, relaxing with the colors. If you get outside like this, don't worry because we will cut them. And I use green for the top of the hat. And I also paint the leaf with the green. Sometimes I can get different tones with the same pencil. Here I didn't use so much pressure. And here I used more pressure and two different colors. You can use any color you like. You can make the hat another color. Now the flowers in the hat. I like orange so much. Orange gives a very live energy. So I make it orange. And now for the mouth, I suggest to use pink color. If you don't have a pink, you can use red too or orange. But I suggest the mouth won't be colors like blue or like green. No, just something that looks like red or pink or orange for the mouth. And now what I have, the beard part I am painting. Like I have a very dark color in my hand now. I won't make any pressure on it. I will paint it very slightly, very light. because then if I use so much pressure on it, then our guy might look like an angry man. Okay, now I have yellow color for the skin. I like the harmony it creates. The yellow with red. I like it. Okay, so now the body part and the yes, for the skin you can use another colors like pink, brown. But if you are using brown, don't use so much pressure. Just paint very slight, because we don't want the skin to be darker. Okay, now I'm in the arms. The skin, I choose yellow for the skin. You can choose another colors, but please use light colors, not the dark colors. If you use dark colors, don't use pressure. Okay. And now the arm. I will do the purple here. I want the purple energy. Every color has symbolizes another form of energy. Okay. Now I put this red. After our show, our puppets session ends, you can make another puppets as your as much as you want, different colors, different sizes. Okay, but just in the show, in the session, you just pick any you want. Yes, now I am in the pants. I will use blue for the pants. You can use any color you like. Any color is welcome in the pants. Doesn't matter. Maybe black, maybe brown, orange. Now please everyone, quickly color, quickly. And we color the shoes. Okay, I started to color the shoes with my brown leather shoes. And leather shoes are more strong to the rainy days. And for the cold. And this Karagöz and Hacivat were talking to each other. Yar bana bir eğlence medet. Yar bana bir eğlence medet. They are singing like this. They are always joking into each other, saying some bad jokes. They are so comic. I'm sure that you have some comic friends around you. Okay, now please everyone take up their marker. We need the marker now. The marker or any dark colored pencil, because we need to mark the corners, the outlines, because we will cut them, so we don't want them to be cut by mistake. After them to be seen. If you cannot make outline every corner, every outline, I mean, if you couldn't mark all the outlines, don't worry. We also have an outline on the first face. I'm outlining everything. If your pencil does not write well, don't worry. Okay, again. Yes. And I made it, but I'm making for you again, for you to make it see it. So keep your scissor around you. We will use the scissor. Now the hands. Only one arm we have. That's not a problem. That's the thing we are doing. We need only one arm. We are not doing two arms. Okay, so what I do is to mark the places that I put the needle. Okay, here I will mark here, not very middle, not very exterior, but between them, here. Okay, so that there will be enough space for when we move the arm, it won't tear down. Here, and in the shoulder, I put it here, not here, not here, like here. We have the same rule here, same. With the legs. After we cut the legs, I will suggest you to paint them backwards too. I will show them now. Okay. Now I'm starting to cut. Good luck. When cutting, I am more moving my left hand. Mostly my scissor hand is fixed. I'll move the other hand. And when I cut, I use the central point of the scissor. If I use this part, I cut better. But if I try to cut with these parts, then I can damage the paper. This part is better. Just to remind you. I wonder how will be your puppets. I'm so excited to see your puppets. After this session, you can make more puppets and then you can make them talk. You can make them talk to each other and then you can make videos and then you can send them to Cook the Call. I will be delighted to see them. And I will be also so happy if you could follow me on Instagram. I am more like an Instagram person now. The people are using TikTok or whatever. I am only with Instagram. I'm a little bit old now. So sorry. But I would be so happy if you could follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is Görkem, Dikel. It's my name and surname. It is on Cook the Call Instagram page. You can find it easily. Yes, now I cut the body with the head. You have something like this. Okay, you have something like this. What goes? And I cut this now. I cut the first leg. Now I'm cutting the second leg. The second leg. if you would have done all the body parts not unseparate, I mean, if you would make it all together, then it will be impossible to move them. So we are making them separately. So when we get them together with our strings, so they can be moved. Now I'm putting the arm. Maybe my scissors scare you. Yes, sometimes it scares me too. So big. Don't worry if you do like this, you know, the fingers, you don't have to make them very like this. You don't have to do this. You can just make a general cut here. Just make a general cut. The puppet, in every case, the puppet will look beautiful. Down. Okay. Slowly, slowly finishing the cutting part. And oh, look, I haven't cut my shoe detail. Oh. Okay. Now I cut it. Now what we are going to do is to put them together. But you know, when we move the legs, so maybe sometimes they turn over. So what we do is color the back side of the legs, the same colors. I'm using my same colors and you can use your same colors. It's the pants and the shoes colored backwards. Back faces. Oh, it's very relaxing. And now the shoes. I have to place my hand on it because if I don't place my hand, when I'm drawing it, that can go like this, and it can be here down. So please put your fingers on every corner, so the corners won't go in up. Please press your fingers on it. Like this. Then if I wouldn't be catching it, it would fall off. Okay. Now I'm doing this. I can't wait to see your puppets. How, which colors you use, I would love to see them. I would like to see photos later. I'm so eager to see them. Okay, now the needle part. I suggest that in this part, please call your adults. Please call your parents or any adult around you. We will also put dots on this part too. Please put dots on this part too. Your parents can also put this. Yes, I'm waiting. Everyone, we now have something like this. Everyone has something more or less like this. Okay, and I put the needles, I put the dots here. Those dots are where the needles will get in. So you can put the legs like this or like this, but I prefer to put it like this. Now the parents came, right? All the parents or adults catch the needles, or at least the people like intelligent people like you can figure out how to make it without harming your finger. Please be careful. Now we are going to tie this, but please make it until the end. Here we have a knot. We have a knot here. Like this. The needle part is above. I'm waiting because maybe you are still trying to place the string inside the needle. But this part is not a difficult part, but maybe it takes a little bit time. I started to tie them. When I'm tying them, I don't make them very straight. No, I'm not making. I'm making loose ones. So because they will move. Loose knots. Loose. Yes. Yes. Okay. So my first leg is put. You see? You don't have to respond. You just be around your puppet. Keep your eye on your puppet. And if you cannot finish anything, I'm sure later you will finish it. Don't worry. Yes, now the second leg. I'll start like this. Here. And here. Hoppa. I'm sewing. And I need loose. Make it loose, not so straight. I need it loose. Okay, I made it. Yes. Like that. Those things later you can get them. You can recut them. Later you can make retouches. And later also you can make some ornamentations on the clothes. Look, for example, you can cut some flower, paper flowers, and you can paste them here or here, and you can draw some details to the clothes. I mean, you can put them here. You are the artist. It is under your decision. And now I'm making the when I put the art, it all looks very beautiful. Now this, you have to be very careful with your hand now. Yes, very careful with your hand. Whatever you do, security is always the first thing that you need to consider. This is also a loose, don't make it straight, loose, yes. I'm so excited, we are almost finished, almost finished. Okay. And now we catch the sticks, the kebab sticks, the chopsticks. Like this. I'm going to say you something simple but important. If your glue is not able to paste this here, don't worry. You can make a hole here. You can put needle here, and you can tie your puppets on the stick. Okay. But if our glue works, then we don't need it. Now with glue, we are going to paste it here. And like in the center of the hat. In the center of the hat. I'm waiting to get it right. So if your glue doesn't work, you just tie this with this string, with the thread properly. You don't need a glue gun, only with normal glue like liquid glues would work. And also you can use your pencils to paste it if you don't have a stick. If you don't have a stick, you can use all glue. Now it has gone blurry. No, it's okay. You know what? Now we finished our puppets. Now after drying, a little bit seconds more, I'm gonna be taking this up and showing this to you. Yes. You're gonna have something like, oh, my hand face. Yes, the star puppet. Please welcome our puppets, Karagöz and Hacivat. They're all moving. They are going to somewhere. They meet on the street, and our well done, people. You succeeded to build your first and most original puppet. And now Gayatri will take your questions.
Yes, hello there. It was a wonderful session, and I'm pretty sure all of them enjoyed it so much. This was something entirely new that we learned today, and it was so fun. I enjoyed myself. I planned on making one by myself too. It was really nice.
I'm so happy.
So yes, this session by Miss Görkem on Turkish art and shadow puppet making is powered by Pogo, kids' favorite entertainment channel. And that's not all. And as I told you before, the surprising news. I saw in the messages that some of you missed the video. So let's have the video again to see what that exciting news by Pogo is. Let's see the video.
अब होगी सीजन की सबसे बड़ी अनबॉक्सिंग।
Hala! Pogo gift वाली दिवाली यानी गिफ्ट्स की बारिश। वाओ!
गिफ्ट से मचेगा बवाल। जल्दी खोलो। In 3, 2, 1।
अब पोगो पे गिफ्ट्स के साथ होगा ढेर सारा फन अनबॉक्स।
पोगो गिफ्ट वाली दिवाली कॉन्टेस्ट देखो न्यू एपिसोड्स ऑफ सिम्बा एंड टीटू 27 अक्टूबर से दोपहर 12 से 2 बजे इस नंबर पर मिस्ड कॉल करो। पाओ मौका टू विन एक्साइटिंग गिफ्ट्स। को पावर्ड बाय गुड नाइट जंबो फास्ट कार्ड एंड चोकोलीबे।
How exciting! Are you all interested? You will get to win so many amazing goodies. You would get phones, you would get cycles, scooters. That's so exciting. Yes, I love Pogo too. I also still watch Pogo. That's not all. Don't forget to catch your favorite episodes by smashing Simba and Titu and participate in Pogo Gift Wali Diwali contest to win some exciting prizes. Okay, now before we proceed, let's have some question answers. So here are a few questions that I have noted down. First question is, how old are the paintings that you had showed us initially? The ones you showed in the PDF, like approximately how old are they?
Can you repeat the question now, because maybe it's better if I re-listen it with this. Can you repeat?
Yeah, so my question was that the pictures and the paintings that he showed us initially during the starting of the PDF, approximately how old are they?
Yes, most of them, they were made in the between 1st and the 7th century.
Wow.
After Christ.
Okay. Can you name your top 3 favorite painters?
Yes, I can. Well, one of them is Cecily Brown.
Okay.
She's a very new painter.
Mm.
And the other is Georgia O'Keeffe.
Okay.
And the other one is, there are many, but it's difficult to name them. John Mitchell.
All right. All right. Great.
All of them are women painters.
Oh, yeah. Another one is, what kind of paint did they use in the old times? Like all those pictures that you had showed us, what is the most common form of paint that they had used? What form of painting was it? Like what paint did they use?
What paint? You mean like material?
Yeah, as in, yeah, was it like?
Yes, I can say that they were using some very old mixture of colors, also coming from India. They were using Chinese ink and Indian tint.
All right, all right, all right. And we have one more question. Ma'am, how long have you been doing this kind of art? How long has it?
Well, I think this is a very good question. My first art studio, do you know where it was? The house, the table of our saloon when I was child. Under the table, I was painting, like lying on the ground. I was painting the ceiling.
Wow.
And that was my first studio.
Wow, that's very inspiring. Yes, so now I think that's all the major questions that we had. Most of them you had answered already in between. So that's pretty much it for it. Thank you so much for the wonderful session, Ms.
Thank you so much. It's a big pleasure for me to connect with all of you.
And I guarantee you that the kids loved it every bit. I could see the chat boxes flooding with all the excitement. They were so impressed.
I'm so happy that they love it. I love all of them. All of them. They are so creative. They're so powerful kids.
They love you too. They love you too very much. You are live in Turkish art and shadow puppet making at Kukuruku Art Festival, brought to you by today's session brought to you by Pogo, a kid's favorite entertainment channel, and this festival is sponsored by Camel, India's favorite stationery brand. This is the biggest and longest running global art festival for children. So kids, don't forget to upload your artworks on Instagram and Facebook so that you can win amazing surprises and goodies. So have fun. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. It was amazing. Thank you so much. Take care.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
का जहां यहाँ वहाँ हाँ जी हाँ हम तो खोजते रहे अपने मकान यहाँ वहाँ हाँ जी हाँ कुकुड़ुकुड़ुक